First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Brody King for being able to main event AEW Grand Slam 2026 from Sydney, Australia, in a losing effort for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against MJF. But nonetheless, the fact that he was featured on the card in the main event is a very good thing, because just a couple weeks ago, it was very unlikely to see something like this, because his anti-ice rhetoric and getting the crowd to chant, well, not getting the crowd to chant it, but the crowd chanting fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice on live TV. And I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back, fuck ice. But to get the crowd to chant that, or the crowd chanting that, it actually caused a ruckus with WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. And apparently they actually like banned him from the show for a week, to my understanding. Listen, I haven't watched AEW in a long time. AEW once upon a time used to be appointment television for me, but I have not watched AEW consistently probably since Sting retired. I want to say that's the last time that I watched AEW consistently, was when Sting retired. That was like the last show, the last pay-per-view I ever ordered. And yeah, I think after that, I just tuned out. AEW, and it's not because AEW is awful or it's bad. I know I called them Bush League in one of my previous AEW videos. The last AEW video I ever did, audio recording, I called them Bush League. And they are, but I just want to make it clear that AEW is not bad. Like, it's not awful or anything like that. The main issue that I have with AEW is that nothing seems to go anywhere in that company. It's just matches. That's all it is. It's wrestling, matches, match after match after match. Nothing breathes. They don't let anything settle. It's just all these great matches nonstop by a bunch of jabronis. Not even main event level talent. It's just a bunch of jabronis, having flipping contests, and they're trying to emulate lucha libre and Japanese strong style. That's all they're doing. That's all modern wrestling is. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it right now, and that includes WWE. Modern wrestling is just an emulation of lucha libre and Japanese strong combined. That's all modern wrestling is. Especially when it comes to AEW. WWE, they emulate lucha libre and Japanese strong to a lesser extent, but that's really all modern wrestling is. It's just a fusion of these guys trying to emulate Mexican lucha libre and Japanese strong. But nonetheless, AEW is just nothing goes anywhere. They don't ever have any big angles, big stories that actually create a brand new mega star or stars that, have you tuning in weekly and excited to see character development and how this goes. It's like, if I just want to see wrestling, then I'm just going to tune into collegiate wrestling, because I used to be a wrestler in high school. I'm just going to watch that style wrestling. Amateurs. I'll watch MMA. I'll watch collegiate wrestling, amateur wrestling. Yeah, I know Eric Bischoff got that Real American freestyle wrestling, which is basically amateur wrestling now in the pros. I mean, I'll just watch that if I want to see wrestling. I watch pro wrestling for the whole package, for the storytelling, the characters, the corny stories, the corny characters, the wackiness, the silliness, the fun, for the ability of me to escape, invest a lot of emotion, but not too much, just enough, because I know that it's all a show, and that brings me to Brody King and his anti-ice rhetoric, because that's been a discussion. Should wrestlers be allowed to wear political brandings, promote their political ideologies on t-shirts and wristbands and whatnot? Should they be allowed to do that, on television? And the way I'm going to answer this is simple. When I watch pro wrestling, I'm trying to escape the real world. It's the same reason I play video games a lot. I got my PS5 on right now as I'm recording this. I don't know if you could hear the background PS5 menu music, but I play video games and I watch pro wrestling and sports in general. It was a big thing. I remember last year, early last year, when the ICE, raids and riots were really popping off, and they had those famous photographs of Mexicans waving the Mexican flag on top of burnt up cars and shit, and all that stuff was going on. And I'm a big fan of the Mexican national team in soccer. And I remember the coach Javier Aguirre was getting criticized for not talking about the issues with ICE. Like, reporters and stuff would ask him about it during post-game press conferences, and he would just change the subject, like he would be like a politician and just dodge the question, or, hey, we're here to talk about football, soccer, I actually defended him. I agree with that, because I don't want to hear about no bullshit outside. I don't want to hear about politics. I don't want to hear about current events when I'm watching fucking sports. Leave that shit out of it. I watch soccer, I watch basketball, I watch boxing, I play video games. I do all these things to escape reality. That's the key. I'm not trying to hear about motherfucking ICE and Donald Trump and fucking all the craziness that's happening right now. Charlie Kirk, all these things. I don't want to hear about it. I'm watching wrestling to escape it. Please do not remind me of it. And that's what's happening. When I hear the crowd chanting fuck ICE and seeing Brody King wearing fuck ICE on his t-shirt or whatever, I don't want to be reminded of that. I understand what's going on. I live around it. I live in Los Angeles, California, man. I'm deep in it. You know what I'm saying? They've done ICE raids very near to where I live as well. I wish they would come to me and try to detain me. Motherfucker, I have a passport and a social security card. My father was a army veteran. I was born on a U.S. military base. My father served 2 terms in the Persian Gulf War, and he's Mexican from Sinaloa, okay? And he served this country and fought for this country, dedicated his life for this country. I'm probably more American than these motherfucking ICE agents. I was born on a military base in Wiesbaden, Germany. Come try me, motherfuckers. I will file the biggest lawsuit. Like Trump says, it'll be the greatest, it'll be the biggest, the greatest lawsuit of all time. That's probably a terrible impersonation. But nonetheless, I live around it, man. I don't need to see it on TV. I don't need to see it when I'm trying to watch wacky wrestling, okay? The wacky world of pro wrestling and politics should not intermingle. The wacky world of sports and politics should not intermingle. That's the whole thing I just want to get out, With the ICE thing, I feel like I feel like I should speak on it. I feel like, even though this is a sports podcast, me being a Mexican American, I should speak on the whole ICE thing. And when people ask me what side do I lean on, when it comes to immigration, illegal immigration, I tell them I'm on the fence, man. Because I don't listen. I understand that the United States as a nation, we need to be organized, and we need to have law and order, and we can't just allow people to come across the border freely as they please. We definitely need to have a process to get here. The thing that people don't tell you is that process takes a very long time, and it's very costly. It's not easy. That's one thing I want to say. People make it seem like it's so easy to come here the right way, right? Quote unquote, come here the right way, the legal way. Like, motherfucker, you think these people like coming here the way they do? You think they like running from border patrol and fucking hiding and come on, man. Of course, these people would all come here legally if they can. A lot of them don't have the means to. They don't have the time. They're fucking dying of hunger. They're struggling to feed their kids. A lot of them don't have the money that it costs to take these tests and fill out all these paperwork and do all these things that are required. And it could take many years. It's not simple. It's not like going to the DMV, to get your driver's license. That's how they make it seem. That's how these idiots make it seem. Like, that's how easy it is to become a legal citizen. It's like going to the DMV and getting your driver's license. Like, no, motherfucker, this shit could take years, and it's very costly. Excuse me. It's not cheap, and it costs a lot of time and money. It's not that simple, okay? But with that said, yes, I agree that we need order. We need to be organized. But in terms of these ICE raids, bro, there's got to be a better way to enforce this shit. There's got to be a better way to do this. I'm seeing regular ass people getting kidnapped in broad daylight. It's not the drug dealers and gangsters and you know, fucking killers that Trump was talking about getting deported. I'm seeing regular ass fucking laborers, factory workers, mothers, fathers, sons being kidnapped in broad daylight, dude. And in some cases, I've seen some cases where the ICE agents, they're not even in uniform. Like, it's just they're dressed like regular ass people, like just some white man in a flannel shirt and some Levi's, you know, literally kidnapping a Mexican woman or Hispanic woman, I should say, in broad daylight, putting her in his car. I tweeted out, I'm like, man, if I saw that shit in person, I would think that it's a man like sexually assaulting a woman, kidnapping her to do some nasty shit to her, dog. You know what I mean? And I would have to intervene if I see that in person. I'm not gonna be a coward and not do nothing. And then I would have got in trouble because I'm fucking fighting against a nice agent. That's a form of law enforcement, if to my understanding. So it's crazy, man. There's gotta be a better way to do this. You cannot tell me that this is organized. These people just raiding neighborhoods and in some cases, in a lot of cases, not some, a lot of cases, they're detaining American citizens that just happen to be brown and have Spanish last names, which is a form of racial profiling, which is a form of fascism. And we do not want to become Nazi Germany fascists because that's what it looks like. You have ICE agents detaining American citizens, okay, that just look Mexican, look Hispanic, look Latino, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they go into the barrios. These ICE agents aren't going to Calabasas or Beverly Hills or fucking Malibu. They're going into the barrios of SoCal, okay? They're going into the barrios. And so it's done by design because they know who lives in these barrios. But they're all mainly American citizens. You know, I'm not saying there isn't any illegals living in the barrios. Of course there are. But I'm just saying there's been a lot of cases of these ICE agents detaining American citizens. That's why I said I wish these motherfuckers would come and try to detain me. I wish upon a star, man. I'll file the biggest lawsuit, man. I'll enjoy talking shit too. I wish they would. But anyway, there's got to be a better way to do this. That's all I'm saying, man. There's got to be a better way.